Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Steve with I Love Plants. Yo, thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. I really appreciate you guys for coming back. Okay, listen, we're gonna have a real ass conversation today. We're going to talk about plant burnout. Like, taking care of plants, you guys, can be exhausting at times. Now, this is not to take away from any of you guys who have pets and children and all that stuff. You got to take care of kids until they're about 18 and probably then some. I mean, I know my mom's probably still taking care of me, especially when I go home. You know what I mean? But with plants, I mean, listen, the easiest thing for you to do is just throw them in the trash, right? But sometimes, you just don't want to do that. You sometimes don't want to give them away, but you still suffer through burnout. You still suffer through those periods of time where you don't want to do shit about your plants, all right? So we're going to talk about that today. It can be exhausting. I mean, look at this one right here. This is my majestic. Looking at this plant is giving me burnout. Okay, so stay tuned. We'll talk about how to get rid of it. Not the plant, but burnout. All right, everybody, I hope you got your libation or your coffee or your water or whatever you choose to drink while we have a real conversation about plant burnout. It is a trip, you guys, to navigate through not wanting to take care of your plants, like just being so overwhelmed with the tasks that back in the day were simple, right? Like it took you nothing to want to water your plants. It took nothing, and you got excited when you had to repot a plant, right? But now those tasks are just overbearing. So what do you do? Like, how do you get through that? Let's talk. So listen, the first thing, because I am getting there, okay? Like literally, um, this Godzilla not too long ago had spider mites, you guys. Like, how does a Syngonium Godzilla get spider mites? I'm still trying to figure out, number one, where the hell they came from. I'm still trying to ask those questions about where do my pests come from? Like, seriously, where do they come from? It's like they just get created in this ecosystem of a, I don't get it. But anyway, I digress. But it had spider mites like not too long ago, and I was just like, oh my god, like all of my plants are suffering. I was catastrophizing everything. All my plants are dying. I'm not a good plant dad. I can't take care of them. I got the majestic browning leaves and all of this other stuff, and I'm just like, I really don't even feel like doing anything with these plants right now. I'm just gonna let them all just fend for themselves. Okay, but we can't do that, right? We're plant parents, you guys. Like the same way that take care of a kid or a pet. We want to do the same thing to a certain extent for these plants. We want to try to give them the best life that they can possibly have wherever we are, because we ripped them out of their natural habitat. Okay, brought them into our place, and we're trying to get them to survive as if they are in their natural habitat, their natural environment. So look, step one, okay, simplify your plant routine, you guys. Like seriously, I have my other syngoniums here, right? I have my milk confetti and my pink perfection. So this is what I do. Whenever I get burned out, I group my plants together. I group my plants with the same needs together. Okay, so my syngoniums typically get watered on the same day. I'm going to group all of my syngoniums together and water all of my syngoniums on that day. All of my pothos typically get watered the same day. I'm going to group all of my pothos plants and water them on the same day. Okay, so that I'm not doing plant care every single day. Like I'm not walking around here losing my mind trying to figure out who needs care, who needs love. You know what I'm saying? And I'm giving myself grace on the plants that I just don't get to. All right. So like if you have, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, even more plants. Give yourself grace for the ones that you just don't get to, right? You don't have to have a perfect collection, right? I mean, some of these comments you would think, like you should have a perfect. No, you're not supposed to have a perfect collection. It's not. Plants are not perfect out even in the wild. Like there's going to be browning leaves and drooping leaves and all that stuff in their natural habitat. Shoot, I went to a nursery and there were browning leaves. So I'm not expecting me to be perfect here at the house. So I exhibit grace on myself for not having all of my plants have spectacular leaves. Like who cares? Okay. But number one, group them all together. Okay. The other thing to simplify your plant care is to get self-watering containers, y'all. Like seriously, I got a few of them around here where all I do is just make sure that the reservoir is filled. And I let the plant take care of itself. Take as much water as you need. You got a reservoir of water right there. I don't have to think too hard about you. I don't have to, use a moisture meter with you because you're soaking up as much water as you need. And that's another thing. Get a moisture meter. You guys were on me forever to get a moisture meter. I had one back in the day, but I very rarely used it. I use the one that I just bought a few months ago consistently. Like I use it. It's battery operated. It tells me exactly what needs to be, seen in terms of lighting, even, and, moisture in the soil. And it's fantastic. It helps. It helps a lot. It simplifies my routine. I just stick that moisture meter in and say, up, do you need to get water up? You're moist still? Moving on, moving right along, right? And then the last thing that you should do is set a schedule, right? At least for the time being. This is not something that will go on forever, but it's just nice to say, hey, you know what? I'm burned out. So these 2 days, I'm going to focus on my plants. I'm not going to look at them every single day because I just don't feel like it. If I look at them, they're going to aggravate me. So I'm just going to go about my business. I'm going to have my own fun. I'm going to, go have a chill night, drink my wine, have a chill day, drink my coffee, eat my donuts, and just chill and not even think about these guys. And then I'll set aside 2 days out the week to just check in on them to see what they're going through. And hopefully that inspires you to want to check on them more. But again, set these small little wins, you guys. Set these, nice small little goals so that you can really accomplish them so that it'll motivate you to want to do more. But that's a great way to start. Okay, you guys, the next thing that you might want to do is to start shifting your mindset. All right, now we touched on this a little bit in the last segment, right? Where you just want to not be perfect, right? Like you're not looking to have the perfect plant collection, are you? Is that what you really, I mean, are you trying to be a perfectionist? Because if you are, it's going to drive you insane, okay? Now, look, I can't do it. I can't do it. I mean, I know you guys are great with your tips and all of that stuff. And, sometimes I just don't have the energy. All right. I work 3 jobs. I do this YouTube channel. I like to go out and have some fun too at the same time. And oof, when I tell you, it's a lot. It's a lot, okay? And sometimes, my plant care, it does suffer. I'm only human, okay? So what changed though is me being aware that my leaves don't always have to look perfect. Okay. Now you may get a brown leaf and you want to cut it off for aesthetic reasons and everything like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do that. Okay. Myra was bald at one point. I'm not sure if you remember my pearls and jade pothos. Myra was bald, okay, a long time ago because I had to get rid of a whole lot of dead leaves from a vacation neglect situation that happened. But it taught, my plants are not always going to be perfect, okay? So this comes with exercising grace for yourself as a plant parent. You're not going to be perfect. You're not looking for perfection. Just make sure that you give them just enough, okay, that they survive. All right. And if they get a brown leaf here and there, that's what shears are for. So, you guys, in addition to shifting the mindset, listen, mindfulness is so important, right? So, a lot of us, right, got into plants because we were trying to work on our mental health, right? Give us something to, take care of, something to bring life into our space, right? Some of us, have kids and everything. They're a trip because they talk back. How about give me something that doesn't talk back? You know what I'm saying? So, by the way, I have a Paradiso Verde on the table. Shout out to Agave, House of Agave Botanicals, for gifting me this plant right here. Beautiful plant, you guys. And it actually was something to help get me out of my burnout. It was something new, something that I was excited to get and made me want to take care of. Like it got me back into the mindset of taking care of plants, right? Like taking care of something new. It's almost like if you want to go to the gym and you're hesitant, get yourself a brand new gym outfit. Okay, try it on and then wear it to the gym. Like that's a motivator right there. So you're looking for ways to kind of like motivate you into taking care of plants. Get yourself a new leaf shine spray. Okay, try it out. Right, like you get something to help the things that you want to take care of, and it shifts the mindset a little bit so that it gets you to create some form of action, which creates the motivation, you guys. So first, get action, get moving, and that will funnel into motivation. And then the last thing I'm going to say is celebrate the wins, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were able to bring a plant back to life, celebrate that. If you was able to take care of a hard plant that you did not think that you were going to be able to take care of, celebrate that. If you get a new leaf, celebrate that. If it was your first repot, celebrate that. If it is your first variegated plant, celebrate it. If it's your first wish list plant, celebrate it. Bring things into your space that allows you to celebrate the things that you're taking care of. Okay, so celebrate those wins. This is a win for me. This is the first plant that I really got as a gift from a um a plant shop. It's a win for me. It means I'm doing something right. All right, he's back. Okay, because what we're going to talk about right now is setting boundaries, you guys, because it is okay to set boundaries. Now, in terms of plant care and burnout, setting boundaries means if you got to declutter your space, you got to declutter your space. Now, you guys know, like a few months ago, I've moved into a new apartment, and from one apartment to another, I looked at certain plants and I was like, oh, yeah, you're not coming with me, right? Like, you can get the hell on. You're not bringing that energy into this space. No. But here we got this majestic right here who's bringing that negative shit into my space with this leaf right here. Now, mind you, I got a new leaf coming, but guess what? Janae, you could take this plant. All right. So the next time you come in here and water my plants, please take him with you. Okay. You already took my splendid. All right. I appreciate it. And you can even take the moss pole. This dry ass moss pole, you can have that too. Okay. Declutter your space. Like look, if plants species, different type of, if they happen to be too challenging for you all, you know me, I'm never getting another climbing philodendron unless it's like a Micans or something like that. But this here, no. A plant like this will never come through again unless I have a cabinet. And even still, it's going to, grow out the cabinet, like if it does what it needs to do. So doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. I digress. Declutter your space. It is okay, you guys. It's not you're that you are a failure. No, it has nothing to do with that. One thing that I want to remind you guys is your plant journey is your plant journey. Okay, now we all have different levels of plant knowledge from people who are doing this just as a hobby, which is what I'm doing. Let me remind you, I'm not a botanist. I didn't go to school for this. I don't know horticulture or anything like that. I'm learning the basics to keep my plant babies alive. Okay, that's point blank, period. So we all got different levels of knowledge when it comes to taking care of plants. All right, this is my journey. Your journey might look different than mine, okay? And I love you for it. But the thing is that don't feel ashamed if you got to get rid of some of these guys. Whether you want to give them away at a plant swap, if you want to set them outside of a garbage bin and hope that it finds a home, do it. It's not like you're leaving a kitten or a kid beside a garbage bin for somebody to take care of. You're leaving a plant, okay, because it's a plant, all right? But don't feel ashamed about that because it's your plant journey. You want to make sure that you are doing this for the fun of it, okay? And at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about here. Personalize your plant care, you guys. If you don't want to listen to me and my tips and you want to try things on your own, so be it. Shit, that's what I do. I don't listen to everybody. I'm like, I wonder what this cinnamon is going to do if I spray. Those little hacks. Might want to try a hack. You know what I'm saying? Just to see if it works. Because it's my journey, just like it's your journey. So personalize it for you, for you all, okay? So that you just go through it the way that you need to go through it. All right. So we talk about boundaries, decluttering, and everything like that. Let's talk about boundaries in life, you guys. Like, set them. Set them and stick to them. Okay. Now, boundaries are there for other people to respect. You say what your boundary is. Like, my boundary is I'm not staying out past 12 o'clock. All right. So, not for my, glass slipper to fall off and my, carriage to turn into a pumpkin. Are you kidding me? No, I'm going to be in the bed by that time, because that's where I'm at. So, my boundary is at 12 o'clock, I'm home. So by 11, I'm on my way home. You know what I'm saying? If I'm hanging out. It's a boundary. You know what I'm saying? Now, I got friends who are like, come on, let's go to the next spot. Let's, like, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next is me taking a shower and going to bed. That's what's next. Boundary setting, and getting people to respect the boundary. Now, I'll be damned for the day that my friends respect that boundary that I said that I'm not hanging out late. you know, they still going to try to test me. But that's why I can always say no. So when you set boundaries, you may have to reinforce those boundaries verbally by saying, you know what, I told you that I'm not going to do that. I told you that this is not happening, right? And it is okay to say no, to reinforce your boundaries when it comes to dealing with other people. That is what you have to do because it puts you in a position of power. It's your own power. Okay, don't let anybody take that away from you. This is what you want to do. Who am I to say that that's not the right way to do it? It's not me. Couldn't care less. So set boundaries, you guys. Make sure that you set them, that people respect them, and if they don't respect them, please reiterate it. Give them a chance to hear you out again. If they don't respect it again, you might have to, give them the one, two. You know what I'm saying? But no, no, no. Respect the boundaries. This is your journey, you guys. Okay? This is your journey. Whatever you say in your life goes within reason. Within reason. All right? So set those boundaries, you guys. Get people to respect you, you know, and all that. And yeah, it's part of the whole journey of loving yourself is to set boundaries that you need to live the kind of life that you want to live. All right? So you guys, a little bit of a rant, right? I've been doing that lately, blame it on the alcohol, But at the end of the day, you guys, hopefully, this is just a reminder for you to, again, get out of a funk, get out of burnout. A lot of this sometimes works within the workplace and everything like that, and even in day to day life. Remember to personalize a lot of things to make you happy. Practice mindfulness. That'll help a lot too. And always, always, always love yourself. You guys, you know how we do. All right. I'll see you in the next video. Y'all take care.